Hello and welcome to the 77th episode of Downtime Podcast with Jeremy and Alyssa. And today is almost Halloween, right, Lisa?
Ooh.
Spooky.
So spooky and scary.
Can't you hear our intro theme? It's the same. Ooh.
I will tell you one thing that was not that scary though.
Oh yeah?
So last weekend, with my boyfriend, I saw Halloween, the new remake.
Uh-huh.
And to me, it felt more like an action movie than a horror movie.
Huh.
But I think in general, that's how I feel about slasher horror films. I don't necessarily feel scared of them. It's more of just the excitement of seeing if these idiots are gonna escape the house or not in time.
But did you like it? Was it fun?
It was a really fun movie. I very much enjoyed it. It was very cool.
Cool.
Yes, and then also, I didn't realize that Jamie Lee Curtis was in this movie. This is I think my first Halloween movie that I've seen.
Oh, okay.
The franchise.
How many are there? There's like 10 or something?
Probably.
I have
The
no
thing
idea.
is that like all those horror franchises, like Nightmare and Halloween and then Jason, that stuff is like has 7 movies on them probably.
Yeah, I know that there's quite a few.
Yeah. I
Well,
will
that's cool.
say, being chased around by someone who looks like Michael Myers is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I would be screaming and running for my life.
I know. One thing I learned about the movie that was really fun is it was directed, or not directed, but produced by Danny McBride.
Huh.
So it was really funny, like intentionally funny. The jokes were really good in this movie.
There were jokes in a Halloween movie?
Oh, it was pretty fucking hilarious. And it's not the type of jokes where it's just so awkward and everyone's just laughing because it's so ridiculous. There were a lot of genuinely really good jokes in this movie.
Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah. It's a fun action horror.
Cool. I mean, I haven't really seen any of the Halloween movies, but
Same. That's the same.
yeah, since this is like a sequel, quote unquote, to the first one, I don't really care since it's supposed to be like a starting point as well.
I pretty much understood the plot and the entire franchise without knowing anything about it beforehand. It does a quick intro of who Michael Myers is and where he's come from.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty sweet.
Nice. That's very cool.
Yeah. Wasn't too scared. I'm one of those people where slasher chase movies don't really scare me, but if the movie is about ghosts or demons, then peace. I ain't dealing with that shit.
Like, nope, I'm fine.
Nope. We're not even gonna step into the theater. It's all good.
And nothing wrong with that. I mean, I really don't like those kind of creepy movies where like it's like, oh, this movie has a bunch of jump scares, but at the end you realize that like it was like the little children that were all the demons the whole time or something like that. You know, I'm just like embellishing, but like, you know how they're if it's not so much the horror factor, it's more of the creepy factor because
it's
horror
so
movie
creepy.
like horror movies that leave me with something to think about and be afraid of at night are the ones that really scare me, not the ones that jump scare me, because to me that's just really cheap. That's why I like a lot of Asian horror movies, because they don't feature too many jump scares. They just feature like a creepy aspect to it. So for example, like the very first Grudge movie in Japan, the Japanese one, not the American one, it's like there weren't too many jump scares, but it was more like a slow descent into hell kind of thing where they would show the main girl Kayako, and like they would show the stairs and the camera would slowly move up and you hear her but you don't see anything, and until she starts crawling down the stairs you're like, oh my god. That's when you like see her and she's like quietly, not quietly, she's like slowly crawling towards the camera, crawling towards the main character, and that aspect of it makes me like cringe and
Dude,
like makes my heart race because it's a slow burn and I don't really like that kind of thing. Like if like it's like a shot, it's like just give it to me now. I don't want to have to like sit there and watch it slowly go into my body. Just give it to me, you know?
dude, Yukai and just the general Asian depiction of ghosts is terrifying to me.
It is, and they made a game out of it. Yokai Watch. I'm like, why are you making this a game?
There's so many games about yokai
Yeah.
and just Asian demons in general. So let me know what you think of this statement I'm about to make.
Okay.
The American depiction of horror is that the building itself is haunted, but the Asian depiction of horror is you are cursed, and if a ghost has a vendetta against you, it will follow you no matter where you go.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I agree with that fact because a lot of American horror movies feature like creepy houses and just creepy towns and creepy buildings in general.
Yeah.
Whereas Asian horror movies feature creepy people.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Which is more terrifying because I can avoid a house. There's no problem about that.
Yeah. Like in most American horror movies, it's like the movie could have ended in 5 minutes if they just didn't drive up that road, you know?
It really could have.
Like, you know, the movie Chernobyl Diaries. That's an American movie that's set in Russia. It's like, what if you just didn't go to Chernobyl? Then the movie would have ended.
The place that had a fucking leak.
Yep. It's like, oh, how about we just don't go there and the credits roll? It's like, oh, that's a great movie. I wasted my $13 on this movie.
But yeah, straight up a lot of Asian movies start from the background of someone and it turns out that they had a bad past where they like accidentally drove over someone or
right, or they have like a long history of like a cursed family.
Exactly. Not today, Satan.
No, I yeah. It's vastly different from like, let's say, you know the movie Quarantine? Have you heard of that movie?
Yes, I have. That's not a horror movie though, is it?
It is billed as a horror movie. So there's two versions. There's the original, which is called Rec, R-E-C, like, you know, the record button. Mm-hmm. And it's a Spanish horror film. And the concept
I've definitely
of it,
seen only the American version of it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the Americans tried to do a shot-for-shot remake of it, and it all takes place in an apartment complex. So granted, both movies take place in an apartment complex, and it's implied that the people are zombies in both films. But it's not until the second movie where you find out that it's a religious curse from the devil that is causing everyone to go crazy. And they did make a Quarantine 2 that was set on an airplane, but they still went with the zombie tactic. So as you can see, in the sequel to Rec 2, the Spanish version, it still takes place in the same apartment complex, but it features more of a religious aspect tied to people, whereas the second one is tied to an airplane. So it's like the whole gimmick of the first and second movies are you're trapped in a thing full of other horrible things, and I feel like that's the basis for a lot of, or not a lot of, but like a basis for like at least half of American horror movies. It's like, hey, here's a giant, scary, spooky building, and you're trapped inside of this with a scary, spooky person, and they're trying to kill you. Run away.
Get out of there.
Yeah, it's like, why'd you go that way? Just run.
Jeremy, random question. Were you raised Christian?
Or
were you baptized? It doesn't matter if you follow it today. Were you baptized when you were young?
Christian, you mean like Catholic?
It doesn't matter. Any kind of Christian, really.
Yeah. I went through everything the Catholic way.
Because I am Christian Catholic, there's religious horror movies especially I cannot watch at all.
Well, that's why Rec 2 scared me the most, and I don't really recommend you watch it because, you know, Spain is very, very Catholic.
Religious, super Catholic.
So since you mentioned that you're Catholic, and since I mentioned that as well, when I watched the movie, I could kind of relate to it because of the whole like heaven and hell, demon, purgatory thing, and I was like, this is really creepy. Like,
it's super creepy.
Yeah, so I don't recommend you watch that because I don't really want to spoil it for too many people, but I kind of already did with the whole religious thing. So, like, the second movie takes place, like, immediately after the ending of the first movie. If you've seen Quarantine, you pretty much know how Quarantine ends. And it's the same way that... It's the same way... So, if you watch Quarantine, you basically watched Rec. If you watched Rec, it's just Quarantine in Spanish. But
in a church.
Yeah. So Rec ends the same way Quarantine does. Lady gets pulled away, and then Rec 2 begins where there's a SWAT team that enters the building with a priest.
Of course.
And they're wondering why the priest is there. Like, why the fuck do we need this priest? And then the priest is like, just trust me. And then, they go around and then they find out that the priest is there because he needs to, what is the word?
Exercise?
There we go. Yeah. Exercise the whole building.
Fuck that.
But they have guns. In the first movie, they didn't have guns. They were just people running away, thriller style. But this one, they have like guns and stuff. I'm like, oh, this one's cool. But then it gets creepier. It gets a lot creepier.
Good.
But yeah, religious stuff, demon stuff, ghost stuff. I don't mess with that, yo. I mean,
huge no for me.
Yeah. So, to be honest, my favorite Halloween movie that I watch every year is Hocus Pocus.
Dude, I was about to just say that. I was about to bring up Hocus Pocus.
I know, because we both talked about that last year. We're like, oh yeah, we watched Hocus Pocus. And I was like, you know what? This movie makes me feel better.
I'm going to watch it most likely tomorrow, or I'm going to watch it on Halloween.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
By the way, what are you going to be for Halloween?
I'm going to be Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, you did say that on the podcast with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
I remember why you were saying that.
She was she would always ask me every day after that. She's like, did anyone vote? And I'm like, no one voted. And it was true. No one really said anything. And then so go ahead.
I also forgot about that.
It's all good. I'm sure most people did. But we compromised, and when I was like, you know what, I'll just do Stitch this year, and I'll be Lilo next year. And she's like, okay, I'll be Lilo next year. I was like, all right. So I'm going to go to work as Stitch. I'm going to go to work as Stitch, and I'm going to do some Halloween stuff at night as Stitch as well.
Yes, that's awesome. I'm going to give candy out to kids tomorrow, on Wednesday.
Me too. I'm going to a friend's house, and we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to be for Halloween?
I am going to be PBS KQED children's character Arthur.
Oh, wait, weren't you Arthur before? Or
no, I was.
Oh, okay.
I was not Arthur. Not yet, at least.
Okay.
Now I am.
That's dope, dude. I like it.
I was actually debating between Arthur and DW. I chose Arthur because it is easier to find a yellow sweater than it is to find a pink overall dress, because since I'm OCD like that, I could not find the correct shade of pink overalls. There were so many pink overalls, but they were leaning more towards a maroon red or a very dark magenta. But I needed that light pink. They didn't have the light pink, man.
Wow. That's kind of weird.
Forever 21 had 20 shades of overalls except for the one I was looking for. For shame.
Huh. Wow. Come on.
For shame, 21.
They're not forever. That's
I know.
For sure.
It's not forever. But Uniqlo and Hollister had everything I needed for my Arthur outfit. So
I was gonna suggest Uniqlo would probably have it.
Oh yes, they did.
Good. Got
my white button up for $5, and I got my sweater for $25 at Hollister.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you buy women's clothing to be Arthur, or did you buy men's clothing to be Arthur?
I bought women's clothing.
Oh, okay. So you're basically a woman version of Arthur in a way.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Also, I basically bought something that is also my size. So I like a yellow sweater and a white collar tee. I can rewear those in different fashions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And people will be like, "Oh, hey, it's your Halloween costume." You're like, "No,
hey,
it's not.
No, it's not." Look at it. But I realize one of my other reasons for Arthur is that his clothes have more reusability for what my personal fashion style is than DW's clothes.
Oh, for sure.
Which is like, and like a pink overall dress is cute. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just like I practically would not wear that as often.
Yeah, no, I feel it because like when I was in college, I met this guy and he wanted to be Luigi for Halloween, and he didn't want to buy like the cheapy Party City costume. He wanted to legit buy like a real looking Luigi outfit. So he told me that he spent $300 on these overalls.
Holy crap.
And I'm like, what are these overalls made out of? They look like regular overalls.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever wore them ever again. It's like, dude, that's so unnecessary to purchase that.
$300 worth of overalls too. Holy crap.
It's just one piece of clothing that's $300. Like, where did you buy this? Gucci?
I know. And I hate to say it, guys, but men's overalls are not in right now.
Yeah, it's true.
They're not in compared to women's overalls. Just saying.
Well, you're right.
I don't know why. It's weird because this past year's fashion was basically bringing everything back from the 90s.
Right. No, it was kind of crazy. Like
Yeah.
you could like put two different fashion pictures of people from 2018 versus people from the 90s, and it would be hard to tell a difference because people nowadays take pictures with those kind of cameras using that kind of film.
I know.
So it's like, damn, which one's which?
Who wore it better?
The 90s or the late 2000s?
The only difference would be hair because the trend with 90s was kind of permed hair, and the trend now is braids and colored hair.
It's true.
Yeah. Only things that are different, really. Everything else is the same. The clothes are all the same.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be for Halloween. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go to my friend's house straight from work, hopefully, and give out candy to kids and just be happy. It's going to be a fun Halloween.
Definitely.
Hopefully I get to eat some of that candy too.
Oh, yes. I don't eat candy that much anymore, but I do have for myself one Crunch bar. Let me just go out at the store, and the Lindt chocolates. So that's just for myself.
Nice.
And that'll be just the right amount for Halloween. Because
Honestly,
I'm a savory, salty person.
No, I feel it. Like, I try to not eat candy or drink soda or try to do too much sugary stuff, but if there's a day to indulge in all the sugary stuff, it's got to be
Why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
When in Rome. I don't think that applies, but
I know. When in Halloween.
So speaking of Halloween, have you been playing any spooky games?
So I played a creepy spooky game, but it ended up being just a sad game. A sad meaning like, damn, this hurts.
Really?
Yeah, it's called What Remains of Edith Finch.
Okay.
And it's from a small developer, Annapurna Interactive, and it's a quick game. It's an investigative 1 hour, 2 hour game, and to be honest, the story is unraveling the Finch family, and eventually you find out what remains of Edith Finch. And you're in the perspective of a person who is going inside of the Finch house, and you're just trying to find out all the things that you can possibly find out regarding the family history.
Mm.
And it's sad. It's like they're a cursed family, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil the exact thing, but basically it was sad. I was expecting a more ghostly, freaky game, but it ended up just being straight up like death is sad type game.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, definitely on the more emotionally driven side. But I actually liked the story. It was a very good story, and it was short. The controls were very easy to use. I liked the utilization of the text in the narration, because during the narration the text would appear in the sky, and kind of like the subtitles are within the environment versus the subtitles are lower thirds.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yes. Now, to contrast that 2-hour short game with what might be a 6-hour long game, I have Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hey.
Not Undead Nightmare, but I just have the new one that came out.
That's cool.
Yes, and all right, I'm gonna just get it out of the way. It is a pretty game. We all knew it was gonna be a pretty game.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to not make these scenic shots beautiful in a cowboy setting. And I will say, you've played a Grand Theft Auto game before.
Oh yeah, I own a few.
So you know how you can change the perspective, and you know how you can have cinematic shots where the cinematic shot is kind of changing every 5 seconds, but it's cinematic as fuck?
Yep.
Dude, it is amazing in Red Dead 2, but it's the most impractical point of view too, because it's constantly changing. But there was a point where I just did a straight 5 minutes in cinematic mode because I'm just walking in the snow, and I was like, this is so pretty. And then after that, I got hell over it. I was like, okay, this is fucking hard, but that was so good looking.
Oh, I bet. Ah, man, I can't wait to get my hands on this game, because in our Discord, everyone's talking about it. People are posting screenshots, and I'm like, man, I want to play it too. It looks really good, though. No, honestly, like everyone's been giving it really positive reviews. People are like really like going crazy over it, and I have to agree. Like, it looks like a really pretty game, and it's lived up to the hype.
You play this game, and you can tell that this is the only game that Rockstar's worked on for the past 10 years. Like, I'm playing this game, I'm like, yep, I don't think they've been doing anything else aside from this game. Can I tell you, Jeremy, that why did Red Dead Redemption 2 come in 2 discs? One disc was just for installing the game, and the other one is a play disc. By the way, the game is like over 90 gigabytes.
I have space, but why? I've never seen 2 discs in a long time.
I know.
No wonder this game is like $70 or whatever.
I know. Actually, the game's $59.99.
Oh, you would think it would cost more because of the more Blu-ray discs that it requires.
True. I don't understand why. I think the Xbox version only has 1 disc. I don't know what the hell was up with my PlayStation. One thing though that I've heard is that because it's fucking 90 gigabytes, it's using a lot of power, so it's easier to play on Pro than it is regular PS4. I haven't experienced anything bad yet, but I'm kind of worried. I hope it lasts.
Yeah.
It almost makes me think I should transfer all my other games to my solid drive so that Red Dead's the only thing that's just hard installed on the PlayStation 4.
How much space do you have left on your hard drive?
I have plenty of space. There's
okay.
There's like 1 terabyte on my solid state, but my internal PlayStation is like only 500.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And it took a fifth out of my gigabytes. Oh my god!
You gotta do what I did. You gotta install the 2 terabyte internal one.
Too scared, man.
Why? Maybe, I did it successfully.
I've legit thought about it, and honestly, I was just lazy, and it's easy to just plug in and out my.
I feel it.
My external, but no, I've legit thought about that before. Like, I should just install one, but
okay. Well, if this is any consolation, it only takes 30 minutes or less to install and to finish everything. The part that takes the longest is transferring your data from game save data. Not game save data. Like game data.
Makes sense.
From the external hard drive that you backed everything up on to the internal drive that is fresh and new.
Makes sense.
It's really easy to do. It only took, like I said, me less than 30 minutes to do it.
Okay.
Black Friday's coming up, so those 2 terabyte internal 2.5-inch drives are going to be really cheap. I got mine for like 60, not on Black Friday. Like you can just buy it whenever you want. Like they go on sale all the time on Amazon. I got mine through Amazon, and
Yeah.
honestly, I just do it because you don't have to worry about space anymore. Like,
Okay, that's
it's
fair.
a second thought. Yeah, it's a second
fair.
thing. I mean, Yakuza games are going to keep coming out, and you don't have to worry about that because, they're always going to be big, but
Yeah.
they'll have, like, so much space left.
Good point. Yeah, I forgot about Black Friday. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think for our PS4, since we have, like, technically first gen, 2 terabytes is the max that we're allowed to have.
And that's a lot. 2 terabytes is hella.
It is. I think I'm almost halfway, and I've had it for a long time now. So.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I have to check. I'm gonna go check after this podcast. I'm gonna check how much space I have.
For sure. So, a couple points before I end my Red Dead talk. So the game, I think will be fun for you to play, Jeremy, even if you haven't played Red Dead, because it's technically a prequel. So
Yeah.
So since Red Dead 1 is about a guy named John Marston, and he is a outlaw, and he's just getting his revenge and trying to clear a bounty. So that guy was part of a gang, and Red Dead 2 is basically the history of the gang and everything that happens before Red Dead 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing as Arthur, and I will say, I don't know, how do I put this? There's going to be a point in this game where I don't think I'm going to have patience anymore, and I will explain why. So, you know how we're in a generation of video games that is trying to be as realistic as possible?
Yeah, and I agree with it, and I don't agree with it, but go on.
Yes. So, part of being realistic in a video game, aside from just the general graphics, is that every movement is also realistic. And it comes to the point where in the first 2-3 hours of me playing this game, I'm investigating houses and I'm picking up objects, and it takes a long ass time to do these things because it's so realistic. And it brings me to like a point of, damn, I don't think I want games to be this realistic, because if you really brought something to real life, this is a slow ass game. Basically, we are in the cowboy times. It is fucking slow, Jeremy. Some of the actions, I'm just like, okay, I'm over it. So you begin the first couple hours in the snow, and you're just up in a hill, and you've just your gang just reached here, and you have to walk through the snow quite a few times. And the first time, I was like, the first 20 minutes, I was like, this is fun because I'm actually slow in the snow. And, that's how you would actually walk in the snow. That's cool. Right. It's like I'm immersed in cowboy life.
Like, wow.
By the 21st minute, I was like, okay, I'm fucking over cowboy life. We need to fucking hurry this up right now.
Give me a goddamn 4-wheeler. I want my car.
Give me a car. Give me like some snowshoes. This is getting ridiculous. So
yeah,
this is we'll see how I reach by next week, but this is an example of finally like, our game's getting too realistic. So I love realistic games, but I don't want a game to be that slow. It's fun, especially if a game is 60 hours. If Red Dead was 20 hours, like the first one, and it was this slow, I'd be like, okay, at least the game's short. But
right,
part of like long games, such as Persona and Yakuza and just like Skyrim, is that it's easy to move through things. And this is just like, I know that if I don't calm myself down, this is going to be a hindrance when I get to like the 15th hour.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. It's cool so far, but that's my TED Talk about Red Dead 2.
Do you feel immersed overall?
I think I don't feel immersed yet, but I think it's also because I'm in the snow.
Oh, okay. Well, how long do you spend in the snow?
I think snow is just like the first couple hours of the game. And then because you eventually
okay.
go down the mountain, to my understanding.
I see.
Yeah, because I think this is just one of the areas.
Oh, okay. Because I don't
Yeah.
know how big the map is. I heard the map is huge though.
I heard it's pretty huge too. So
So that means you're gonna have to go further and further with your horse, and you have to like, I know fast travels in the game, but like before that, you have to like walk and take your horse everywhere. That's gonna be annoying.
oh, I'm already walking my horse through the snow. It is wonderful.
That's the best thing ever, huh?
It is the best thing ever.
10 out of 10 would do in real life.
10 out of 10 would do in real life.
Wow, that sounds very enthusiastic.
Look how convincing this is.
I can hear it in your voice. It seems like you want to do it all day.
All day, every day.
Oh man, but I like cowboy stuff. You know, I'm
Yeah,
not a huge fan of it, but you would obviously recommend it to me.
Oh yeah, I still think it's a very good game. I like just going through the first few hours of the gang storyline. I think it's gonna be a good story. Like for sure. Like I wouldn't with what I've witnessed so far. I was like, oh, this is gonna get good. So
Nice.
yes.
Okay.
So if you want to be a real cowboy that was actually in the late 1800s and everything was slow, this is the game for you.
So this is like the next step. Instead of actually becoming one, this is like the next step. Like you could pretend to be one.
Yes,
in a
you can
sense.
pretend to be a cowboy.
That's awesome. Can't wait to do that.
Oh yes. What I'm most excited for is the like going through the storyline. Like
okay.
like there's gonna be things like, you know, you can skin stuff and you can play games, you know, that like everything that was basically in Red Dead once. It's not a surprise, but I'm excited to see how the storyline unfolds for sure.
Okay. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I feel like the storyline is going to be really dramatic and full of like witty banter between the guys and stuff. So
Yes.
I mean, it's a Rockstar game. You get what you're expecting from it.
Pretty much. Like I said, they put 100 hours a week into this. You know what's funny? So when I was playing the game for the first time, my first thought was, this is a game where I think you'd put 100 hours a week into it. It was so bad. I was like, no, I see it. I definitely see it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like all Rockstar games are like that.
Yeah. Definitely to like Grand Theft Auto 5 for its time, that's the type of game that would have put 100 hours into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
even
Yakuza
Red
is
Dead
kind of
1.
Oh, no, totally. I feel like Yakuza is in the same space.
Yeah. Definitely. I will say though, I have a feeling I will enjoy it more when we get out of the snow. Shit is too cold and it's too slow. But I will say that, once again, the soundtrack is awesome.
So, they don't feature any modern songs, obviously.
Not yet. I don't know. They're pretty.
Okay.
They're all like guitar based cowboy songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like acoustic kind of guitars. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. And do you think this game will come out on PC? I know a lot of people are speculating.
Most likely it will. I think Rockstar is pretty PC friendly, but I will say the fact that this game is 90 gigabytes. Holy balls.
Yeah, it's a big game.
That's a lot of memory. I have no doubt it's going to come out to PC though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like it's
the PC version honestly might be the better processing version of it.
Yeah, because they did that for Grand Theft Auto 5. They made the PC version run at like 60 frames a second, while every other version ran at like 30 or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I think they're going to do that for PC. I don't mind, but it just like, should I wait for the PC version or should I buy the PS4 version? So I don't know. Will there be custom radio soundtracks for me on my horse? Can I customize my horse with some lowrider gear?
Hey,
bulletproof tires. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna wait until they actually do have a solid announcement for the PC version. So I mean, or if there's a really good deal on Black Friday, I might pick it up then. But for me right now, this is kind of a game that I can wait since it's not really a sequel; it's more of a prequel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? There's so much content in this game that not everyone's gonna find it in the first week.
Oh
so
no!
It's like people are still finding shit about like Grand Theft Auto 5 right now, and that game came out
ridiculous.
2013 or whatever.
What I would do is I would check the gap between when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on console and when it came out on PC, and then I would judge from there.
I think it was a year and a half.
Okay.
Because it was released on PS3 and Xbox 360, and then it was released on next-gen consoles, and then 6 months after that or something, it was released on PC.
Okay.
So it was like a year and a half after it came out.
Okay. So I guess if you can... Yeah, it just depends at this point how long you want to wait.
Yeah. I mean, I've got so much on my queue right now. Like, oh, God, dude.
Which, by the way, what are you playing? Any horror games for you?
Yeah, I've been playing some Resident Evil. I really like the Resident Evil series. I like especially Resident Evil 4, and right now I'm also playing Resident Evil 7, so I'm kind of playing them simultaneously since tis the season right now,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4, as everyone has probably played or knows, it's a game where you play as Leon S. Kennedy. You have to find the president's daughter in Spain, and you get dropped off on this like kind of island. I think it's an island, or is it part of the continent of Spain? I forget. Not
Ibiza.
Country. Wow. If there are zombies on Ibiza, like there's nowhere to run. That island is so tiny. So yeah, that's cool. The Resident Evil 4 is really cool. I mean, I'm playing the version on the PC, so aiming with a mouse is a lot easier. I have a friend who owns, I think he owns every version from the GameCube to the PS2 to the PS3, 360, and I asked him, like, are you going to buy the one that comes out for next gen consoles? I think it was for PS4, I forget, but then he's like, no, I don't want to buy it on everything. Like, he's at the point where he felt like he was buying it and replaying it every time a new console came out, and I was like, well, it's Capcom's fault for making the game on every console, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 4 is a classic game. It kind of defined the over-the-shoulder genre of shooters. It's kind of where it was kind of a turning point for the whole Resident Evil franchise, in that instead of it being a horror game, it kind of became an action thriller game. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say about it other than if you haven't played it, play it, because it's a really solid action game. There are some spooky, scary moments, but it's not. It's far between few. I've also been playing Resident Evil 7 on PS4. That game is creepy. That game does have a lot of jump scares, so be prepared to be a little bit scared when you're playing Resident Evil 7, and don't play it by yourself because it's not fun by yourself. Also, don't play it in VR because it's scarier in VR.
You haven't finished 7 actually, right?
No, I'm like on chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
Still going. Scared. That's it. It's first person, which is a really interesting take for the
scary,
series.
Especially if it's first person.
Oh yeah, because the people get all up in your face, and I'm like, oh, I don't need this right now.
It's too stressed.
For real though.
I'm trying to escape the island of Ibiza. I cannot deal with this right now.
All these zombies trying to come get me.
All these
fun.
Thambies.
And the non-horror game I'm still playing is Yakuza Kiwami 2. Still playing that. I'm on chapter 11. I don't want to say it. Something happened to me, and now I'm learning the truth about something.
Oh,
and I'm also revealing the truth.
I know what part you're at.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, that's cool.
Oh man, that's a good part. That's so
Yeah.
good.
A lot of cutscenes.
Yes. That's very good.
Yes.
By the way, let's turn this around a bit. You played the sub-story in Yakuza 2 where it's the Ringu.
Oh God, yeah, that was, yeah.
That was legit freaky. I got creeped out by that. And
I did too.
And to be honest, I was not expecting that. When I picked up the video, I thought it was going to be a bunch of boobs, or I thought it was going to be
bunch of boobs.
some male porn. But I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was creepy.
Yep. I'm glad that's over.
Right when it flickered, I was like, "Oh, hell no."
I was like, why? Yakuza, why? This is not that kind of game for that. Seriously. I came into this franchise wanting action and beating up people, not trying to be scared.
Not today, Satan.
Seriously. Yeah, anyways. So, still playing Yakuza Kiwami 2. I'm almost done with the Maid Cafe game.
Nice.
That's it.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I have played Soul Calibur 6.
Oh, how do you like it?
Oh my god. Well, first of all, if you're a fighting game person, it will always be fun. Like, when you're fighting against people, it's going to be a good time. You're doing versus with your friends, because my coworker has the game.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and it's just it's just straight up fun. It's good to play. The customization is insane for this game. It's like the best it's ever been for Soul Calibur. Like, you got people creating Yakuza characters, you got people creating anime characters. Like, actually, I saw in news that they are adding 2B from Nier Automata as a character. But before that, everyone was trying to customize their own 2B character.
What?
But it turns out
cool.
that they're just adding it in the first place. I actually lightweight think that Kiryu might be added in this. Like, I don't know. I have some thoughts that it would be crazy if Majima or Kiryu was added.
I could see Majima and Kiryu in there. Maybe
Yeah.
Majima more than Kiryu.
He has a knife and a baseball bat. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, you said Nier Automata. There's like you posted a trailer on the Discord of like a Nier Automata character.
Yes, that's 2B.
Being revealed. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. It's cool that they're doing that kind of crossover.
Soul Calibur has always been successful in doing crossovers, but I think this one is just, it looks better, and the customization's already legit. So I think we're gonna be seeing some pretty awesome new people.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool. I mean, I feel like a lot of fighting game franchises in their own right like to do crossovers, akin to Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So I think it's really awesome.
Exactly. It just I kind of wish that the single player actually, I was looking at the single player for a little. I didn't play it, but I watched it. It was actually okay. It was fine. See, Soul Calibur 2 had the best single player experience because it had so many cool challenges, and it was just awesome, the grid that you had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But everything from 4 on was like, questionable. The single player. But this is good.
Nice.
Yes.
So is 2B only on the PS4 version or in all versions?
To be honest,
of the game?
To be honest.
Hey.
I don't know, actually.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because the thing is, Nier Automata is not exclusive to PlayStation.
Oh, right, it's on Xbox One.
Yeah, it's on quite a few platforms. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then also, I just wanted to say that the PlayStation 1 Classic, all the games got announced. So, if you're into that shit, then definitely get it. If you've never had a PlayStation 1 before, you should. I see no problem in buying it. But if you have all the consoles, there's just no point in getting it.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, I will say though, I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but not surprised that Metal Gear Solid's on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Persona's on it too.
Oh,
I think
that's cool.
Yeah, and the first Grand Theft Auto.
Well, that's expected.
Yeah, I was Metal Gear Solid should have been on this anyways, but I just don't know what Konami's thinking sometimes. And then Rayman's on this too. Twisted Metal's on it.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah,
I'm assuming that they're going to include 2 controllers.
to be honest, I don't know, but it would make sense because if you have Tekken 3, then it would then you'd probably have 2 controllers.
That's cool.
Yeah. It would be cool that if they weren't making a Crash Bandicoot if they didn't create the remaster for PlayStation 4, that would have been just the perfect game to have on this thing. But they already remade it, so there's no point.
Yeah, I wonder how this became the short list. Like, I wonder how many other games got cut, because I could see obviously other Final Fantasies being on here, but of course they chose the most famous one.
I mean, you're not going to have 8.
Right? I mean, they got Resident Evil. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So my running theory is that so for example with Nintendo, all their classics so far, they're all Nintendo games. So it's easier to just put the games on there because they're all straight up Nintendo games.
Right.
They're also the developer, whereas all of these games, they're all from outside studios.
Oh, right. So they had to secure the licensing.
So you have to
rights,
secure the licensing for it.
Ooh, I see.
Yeah. So that's how I sense this list was made. It's the people whose licenses they secured.
Right.
I will say, I think 2 games for me should be on this. The first one I'm saying is Crash, but Crash, the reason it's not there is because it's on PS4. But I think Wipeout, the racing game, should have been on it.
Oh, Wipeout. Yeah.
Wipeout's not on this. That's like quintessential PlayStation 1. I think that's the only game where looking at this, I'm like, I'm surprised that wasn't included. Oh,
yeah,
well.
I'm sure they probably couldn't get the rights or something.
Yeah, more than likely that's the reason.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there was like this comment that I saw. It's like, Tony Hawk's not on this, and I'm like, Tony Hawk wishes it would be on this. Or no, sorry. I meant PlayStation wishes Tony Hawk would be on this, but I'm just like, especially if you're dealing with that franchise, there's got to be tons of royalties that they didn't want to, and bullshit they didn't want to deal with.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure they had to pay him like a buttload of money just to do it.
On top of that, the royalties for each member that's included in Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
So
Chad Muska. Like that. Like that guy. I don't even know what he does anymore.
Me neither.
I don't even know if he's still alive. But no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, there's just a bunch of people that just wanted money. I'm sure a lot of studios approached PlayStation with their game and were like, "Hey, you can add this to the system for this amount of money." And PlayStation was like, "Ha, no.
Nah, not today, bruh.
Not today. Not today.
Not today."
For real though.
But I mean, like, as much as you can get, this is a solid list. I mean, I was surprised they got Metal Gear Solid, so that's a solid. This is a solid list.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the news I have.
Cool. All right. Well, if you would like to send us a comment or a question, you can always, hit us up the old-fashioned way by going to contact@downtime.live. Send us an email. We'll read it on the podcast. Or you can go to our website, www.downtime.live, to view our community page. You could read our articles. You could also click on the left side that says community and join our Discord. We're always talking about video games. We have a small community where we like to discuss everything that's happening in the video game industry with a little slice of life of our lives in there. So it's kind of cool. You can always ask us questions directly through the Discord. We're always open to your guys' comments and questions. Also, leave us a review on Apple Music, iTunes. Is it iTunes and Apple Music? They're both the same thing.
They're
now,
both the
kind of?
same thing. So the interesting thing is, it is iTunes. It is literally iTunes, but they're calling it Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. It's like they're trying to take. You know how the I is a branding for Apple. It's like they're trying to change the branding of it to change it to Apple Music or Apple Podcasts.
Oh, okay. So if you're listening, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, it's all going to be the same thing. You can listen to us in any way you want from that. Like it's all under the same umbrella. So leave us a review on there. We'll read it on the podcast.
Yes.
That's it. Anything else you want to add, Alyssa?
Nope.
Before we close out.
Nope. I hope everyone has a very safe Halloween. Stay frosty. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah. Honestly, eat all the candy, or if you're going trick-or-treating with your families, or if you're doing the trick-or-treating or just having a Halloween party of some sort, hope you have a spooky, fantastic time.
Yeah, everyone, please be safe. Don't turn over any trucks like they did in Japan. That's not nice. Now, then you get sued.
Nope.
So please don't do anything rash. Don't do any arson. Have a good time.
Do not explode pumpkins.
Yeah, just don't be a dick on Halloween.
Yeah, don't
Have
be a
fun.
dick on Halloween.
Don't ruin it for other people. That's how the Castro Parade got shut down, because other people ruined it.
Yeah, kids are just trying to have a good time, man.
Yeah, it's a time to hang out with your friends or family, dress up, get candy. Like, it should be a safe and innocent holiday, not one where violence is involved.
Yep, exactly.
If you want to get violent, go play a video game.
True. There's plenty of
Call of Duty.
Oh my gosh.
Call of Duty came out, Call of Duty just came out, so just go play that. If you want to go kill a bunch of people.
Oh.
It's true.
It's true. Happy Halloween, y'all, for the 77th episode. Have a great Halloween. Stay safe. And Day of the Dead. All Saints Day, All Souls Day. Peace.
Spooky, spooky. Have a good night.